Problem of the day. Today's problem of the day, you need to pay much attention. The reason is because while your screen is why you see a lot of writings, right? This is a Core Maths one full solid question. And most of the times, we don't want to solve these types of questions. But if you're able to solve these questions, they give you huge marks and you are free. More often than this particular question, I'm going to business account now A and B, and this can carry a huge mark. And then if you're able to get it all correct, you just go your way. So let's see how you can tackle the question. Let's read the question. The question says a trader bought M oranges for 48,000 Ghana cedis. She found out that 40 of them were rotten. She then sold all the remaining oranges. The selling price of one orange was 100 cedis more than the cost price. You are supposed to find A. In terms of M, you are supposed to find I, the cost price of one orange, II, the number of oranges that she sold, then III, the selling price of one orange, IV, an expression for the total sum that she received from the sale. You are supposed to find the number of oranges she originally bought, and then II, you are supposed to find the cost price of an orange. So the first one was in terms of M, and the second one will cry A beside the original number. But let's break the question down. So me tell me in three, I'll say, maybe cotton oranges for maybe a farm, and now to quite a number of oranges. Number of oranges near farm, in this case, no, the M original man number of oranges. The man said number of oranges, no, a bottle bag, the bottle, a name number of oranges, a good bottle, or turn 48,000 cities, okay, and I'll buy if you know. Or sunny bottle, no, who is a 40 of the oranges, no, April. That is what Wayek is telling us. Into 40 of oranges, now pro, they are, or say, or turn the cano. That was the next statement that says she sold the rest of the oranges. But I'll say the selling price of one orange was 100 cedis more than the cost price. This time, no, got orange from farm, no, Oberton, no, selling price of orange by could be or the 100 cedis a car home. That is what Wayek is telling us. Into the Zenka, at the end of time, also turn orange be 20 cedis. This time, or the 100 cedis car 20 cedis in home, and a bear 120 into a turn orange be 120. Let me give you a fair example. Over here, say you went to a bookshop and then you give the bookshop keeper 1,000 cedis. And then you bought some books, okay? The say on my 100 notebooks. That is the number, okay? Then you give the person 1,000 cedis. The person gave you 100 books. And in this case, no, if you want to find the price of each book, that will be the price that you gave all over the number of books, right? Something like this. If you give the person 1,000 cedis and an 100 books, that means you bought each book at 10 cedis. Maybe I'll buy now the books, 20 of them. I say, this year you have how many books now? 100 minus 20. That means you have 80 books now. And I'll say, the person added 100 cedis, 100 cedis to each orange. The ones that I'll buy now they 15 cedis, a 2 book back will be ours. So in this case, you are selling 80 books. This time, and price actually now was it back could be 10 cities. This time more turn 10 plus 15 cities. Now more 25 cities. Into but book be 25 cities. It's another story now. So let's move back to the problem. So we are supposed to find in terms of the cost price of one orange. So from here, let me say my solution. Okay, so we are giving number of oranges. Let's say the number of oranges or the Maya to be M, and the price of the oranges or the Maya to be 48,000, right? And I'll say rotten orange, 40. Until remaining, saying M minus 40. The reason why M minus 40 is till they are saying if the original ones in think it be 100 oranges now move 40 I say a better. 100 minus 40, right? And then with that, these were all that we were given. Before we add the 100 cities, in Kakra, but I'll say the cost price of one orange. The cost price of one orange, send them a Canada. If we're giving the books, open the price of each book as well, divide the scan out the money panel by number of books now. In this case, AI, we are going to solve it as the cost of each book, the total amount, divided by the number of oranges, right? In this case, the total amount was given as 48,000, right? And then the number of oranges was M. So this is our first solution, because I'll say the cost price of each orange. This time you're profit, you're loss. The price of each orange, the total price guide my farmer no divided by number of oranges. No, in this case the number of oranges is M. Then with the II, let me continue from here since my screen is small. So II here. So we are supposed to find the number of oranges that she sold. So the number of oranges that she sold is the remainder, right? We know that the number of oranges is M and a 40, I say, so minus 40. The result that we get is this. Since M is not a number, it's intimately 14 frame. So this will be our final result, M minus 40. That will be the number of oranges she sold. Okay. Then I. For the I, or say the selling price of one orange. Notice that she gave us the question gave us a clue. Say she added and I said the selling price of one orange was 100 cedis more than the cost price. So the cost price, everyone's the cost price. Let's move to our black screen. Cost price near 10 cedis. The selling price was everyone said 2 cedis more than the cost price. That means the selling price was 10 cedis plus 2 cedis. The reason why 10 cedis plus 2 cedis is say if you have 10, then if you have 12, by how much is 12 greater than 2? I mean, by how much is 12 greater than 10? That'll give you 2, right? So let me give you another example. If you have 20 and then 25, by how many? And I said, by how much is 25 greater than 25? Right? So in this case, the selling price of one orange will consist of the cost price. Notice that this is the cost price. Question 1 is the cost price. That is this, right? So it will be the cost price plus 100. That means 48000 divided by M plus 100. That'll be the selling price of each orange. And then IV, we're supposed to find an expression for the total sum that she received from the sale. So in this case, the total sum is telling us like turning in our so this time we are talking about money and not only the oranges. So the total sum will consist of this. This is the selling price. This is the selling price. And then this is the number of items she sold. So let me give you a fair clue here. The everyone say this time old ton books 12 cedis. And a remainder of books everyone say 8 naka books 8 naka and our turn back will be at 12 cedis. Into pesca benya. Say it means 12 times 8, right? The utom everyone say utom pen and the pens now utom here 12. Utom back could be at 10 cedis. The upesca benya say 12 times 10, no way, right? And in the same way, we're going to apply that here. So this is the number of nyoma here ton, and this is the price for each of them. So in this case, it will be 48000 all on M plus 100 as the selling price times the number of oranges I had on here, M minus 40. So that is it. We are done with the first one. The second one, that is a B. If she made a profit of 12,000 from the sales, we are supposed to find the number of oranges she originally bought. At the end of time, we know that this is the total selling price. In that case, she made a profit of 12,000. Okay, the profit is actually this amount of money. Scanner or the farmer plus and fasono. Right? And as I scanning is the total sum. Now, that is this one, right? And so in this case, we first need to add this to this. So let's say 12,000 plus 48,000, that will give you 60,000, right? So 60,000 cedis, and here the total sum. And also we are supposed to use this amount to find the number of oranges she bought from the farmer. And with this one, we can just equate it to this, since this is the total sum and this is also the total sum. So I can say 48000 all over M, then plus 100, and that one is multiplying M minus 40 in this case, and that is equal to 60,000. For some better reasons, space now an issue until let me just solve it on my black screen and let's paste the result here. So the equation that we had earlier was 48,000 all on m plus 100 multiplying m minus 40 is equal to 60,000, right? So with this we can solve it mathematically. Notice this can multiply this, then we will just divide everything by that. So we can have 48,000 plus 100 m divided by m. And if you don't know the method that my uses is here, I actually taught it earlier in my WhatsApp group. And then if you are watching on YouTube, one of the videos, I'll put the link below. I've taught you how this is done. So from here, I can just multiply it by m minus 40 is equal to 60,000, right? So in this case, we can just expand this. So we are going to get 48,000 plus 100 m. Then that is multiplying m minus 40. Since this is multiplication, I can divide all by m is equal to 60,000. And then we can just shift this m here. In other words, once I higher one, so when we cross multiply, we're going to get 48,000 plus 100 m, or multiplying m minus 40 is equal to 60,000 m. Okay, so with this, I have to actually take off this comma, but in my next step I'll take it off. So we are having 48,000. I'm actually multiplying this by it, m, then minus 19,200,000, and then I can continue as plus this 100 times this m will give you 100 m square, then minus 4,000 m, all is equal to 60,000 m. So from here we can say we can group like terms perfectly, so that we are bringing this first, which is 100 m square, and then here we can say plus this will follow, which is 48,000 m, and then I want this to follow minus 4,000 m, then it will cross over and say and that will be minus 60,000 m. Now after here it will number this one, which is 192,000, all of them is equal to 0. Okay, so from here we can divide all of them by 100. Each of them by 100. So we can get rid of some of the zeros. So when I divide it by 100, it will give me m square plus 480 m. Then this divided by 100 will give me 40 m. Then 60,000 divided by 100 will give me 600 m. Then minus 192,000 is equal to 0. So with this in here, we can say m square, and then 480 minus 40 minus 600 will give me negative 160 m. So negative 160 m, and then minus 192,000 is equal to 0. So from here, I can just get some space for myself. So I'm Mama when it's white time, but if you are following along critically, you can get it right. So from here, we can say that values after expanding it will give me m square minus 240 m plus 80 m minus 192,000 will give me 0. The reason why I had 240 m and then 80 m is because we are getting two numbers, just as most of the times whenever we have quadratic equations we do. So this has become a quadratic equation, this, and then you are supposed to find two numbers, which when you multiply you're going to get this, but when you add you are going to get this. So these are the two numbers, 240 and then 80. These are the numbers that when we get an answer, when we use, we are going to get it right. So from here I can bring m out, that will be m minus 240, and then here will be plus 80, here will be m minus 240, then all of them is equal to 0. So we have m plus 80 and then m minus 240. So with that is equal to 0. If our first one now, it is actually m plus 80, right? Let's equate that to 0. So m is equal to negative 80. That is the first one. Our second one is m minus 240 is equal to 0. So when we take that one, we can say m is equal to 240. So with this, we have m as negative 80 and then m as 240. Logics, you should realize that m is equal to 240 because m can never be negative 80, because say we want the number of items that are available, and negative 80 will never give us a reasonable response. So 240 is the answer. So back to our question. After solving everything, we can say m is equal to 240, and that is it. Okay, so we have 240 oranges. In other words, 240 oranges is the original number of oranges that she bought from the farm, and also from wherever she bought it from. So in this case, you are supposed to solve the second question. It says the cost price of an orange. So with that one, so okay, this was our cost price, this particular question, because the cost price consists of the number of oranges divided by the price of the oranges divided by the number of oranges. Doing diagram, let me just solve it again. In this case, we know the number of oranges, which is 240, and then the price that she bought from the farm, in this case, that is this. The question didn't state that she bought from the farm. I'm just giving that so that everything will be simple for us. So in this case, the cost price is going to be the 4800 divided by the 240, and then with that we are going to get the cost price of each orange, and that will give me 200 cedis. So she bought each orange at 200 cedis. And ideally, number of oranges, Nana says she bought a single orange from the farm as 200 cedis. So Matro, she bought blah 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 Ghana cedis 200.00. So I hope said this was interesting. I believe everything will be fine after writing a Wassce. But whenever you see questions like this, just break it down to your understanding. If like transform it into tree. Now, if you don't concept in area, you can do it. This is not a formula work, but it's a question that you would understand based on logics and understanding. So please do well to build yourself to understand questions like this, and we will do our best to solve questions here similar to this, so that when you get there, everything will be simple for you. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Kindly subscribe to our channel on YouTube as we post more over there, and then like our videos as well. Until then, I'll see you later.